It's all so tiresome, and the mask is starting to slip for a lot of these uh, reporters who are really just, um, race grifters. They exist in the mainstream media, and people for some reason think, well, that must only be in mainstream media. Well, it also exists in sports media, and it's never been so obvious who the hacks are and who the losers are. Then I know I'm going to be talking about the WNBA. I assure you, it's actually interesting. Um, there is a star player in the WNBA. I'm going to just boil this right down and just keep it 100. I'm not going to dance around stuff because I'm sick and tired of these race grifters pretending that they're going out of their way to defend garbage behavior by people because they stick together because their skin color. They stick together. Look, Caitlin Clark is probably she's one of, if not the best player in the WNBA. There's probably maybe two or three other players who could maybe you can make an argument for. But what you can't argue is that she's box office. She's the most popular player. She's the only reason anyone knows or cares about the WNBA after 25 straight years of losing millions of dollars a year. How does the WNBA treat this white player, a league full of black lesbians? Well, they treat her like garbage. They treat her like trash. Why is that? Well, it's because she's white, in my opinion, and she's better than they are at their thing. It's the same reason sportscasters like Kendrick Perkins and Ryan Clark of loser ESPN get away saying nonsense, excusing nonsense behavior. And it's all under the veil of they don't like Caitlin Clark because she's white and because she's better than everybody else at their thing, right? There have always been great white NBA players, but it's few and far between. And even as a fan of basketball, although the current NBA product is pretty trash, it's undeniable that it is a sport for black people. The league is 95% black, 90% black. All right. This is just the way it is. You don't know every black player, but you know the random few good white players because they're so rare. Larry Bird was a great player who happened to be white. Caitlin Clark is a great player who happens to be white. They don't like her because they think she's getting all sorts of shine because she's white. Although there have been numerous white players in the WNBA. The WNBA has never made money, not once in their entire career. They finally get a player that puts eyes on their product and they treat her like garbage. And every race-baiting loser in the mainstream media is pretending that they don't like her because she's white, when that is the exact reason they don't like her. They don't like Caitlin Clark because she's white, and they will bend over backwards to try and come up with a million reasons why denigrating her or diminishing her is okay. It's embarrassing. Ryan Clark, who is a sportscaster that you don't know about and nobody really knows about other than him getting smoked by the Packers in the Super Bowl, has issued a statement saying that, essentially two players that you don't need to know or care about. Robert Griffin III, who was a mediocre quarterback in the NFL, and Ryan Clark, who's a mediocre DB or safety in the NFL, neither of them are Hall of Fame players. Had different takes on this play. So there's a play over the weekend where Angel Reese, who they want to be the face of the NBA because she's black, pushed a player to get a rebound. I'm gonna turn off the audio here. Watch her push, two-handed push this player away. Okay. Caitlin Clark says, "Hey, that's a foul," which it is. It's called a loose ball foul. Can't do that. And then since they didn't call the foul, Caitlin Clark gives her a foul, and Angel Reese flops. Flopping has ruined the NBA. I see now that it has come to the WNBA. What this foul is called, to anybody who knows basketball, this is called a no free buckets foul, meaning You don't get to go up and get a free layup. You get fouled. You see a player run away. No easy dunks. You foul them and you hope they miss one of their free throws. And if it's Angel Reese, she's probably missing them both. Okay? She's probably missing this layup, getting her own rebound twice, and then maybe making it. That's how people think she's a great rebounder. 2/3 of her rebounds, roughly, are her own misses. That's how bad she is at this game. So, Caitlin Clark, plenty of NBA players agree this is a basketball play. Can't do it. And she flopped like a biatch. Okay? So she gets up straight to getting, chirping. Oh, I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna take my jersey off. We're gonna fight. Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna take my jersey off. We're gonna fight. And then, oh, by the way, Caitlin Clark's team beat the Chicago Sky by something like 30 points. And she dropped a triple-double. Okay? I don't care about the WNBA. I'm not going to pretend to say that I suddenly care about the WNBA because there's a good white player in it. I think the product is garbage. I think most of the women in that game can't hoop at all. They don't know how to dribble. They don't know how to pass. They don't know how to shoot. It is perhaps the worst slow-motion car wreck you've ever seen. Caitlin Clark is one of the few players who can actually do those things. And when you see it, it's like, oh, wow. Even her own teammates are largely outclassed by her. Okay? When the rest of the league is full of people like Caitlin Clark, I'll look at their product maybe. Okay? But this is literally the DEI sports league. They never make money. Their players can't ball. They finally get one good player who can, who also isn't a lesbian, and they all hate her. That's the truth. So all these pundits come out, like Ryan Clark. First, Robert Griffin III comes out and says, yo, Angel Reese clearly hates Caitlin Clark. And let me be very clear, she does. Maybe she just doesn't hate her because she's white, but she definitely hates her because she's white and she's way better than her. So Ryan Clark comes out and says, well, if your wife is, Robert Griffin III says, hey, it looks like she hates her. She sees hate in Angel Reese, which anybody can see. I mean, look at this face, okay? Look at this face and tell me that this woman is not full of hate for Angel Reese. Chasing her down the court, screaming, spurging out, having a meltdown. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark just draining threes, laughing in her face, winning by 30, okay? Caitlin Clark lives in Angel Reese's head rent-free. Robert Griffin III pointed that out. Everybody knows that. What does Ryan Clark say? Well, your wife is white. Robert Griffin III is a black guy. Your wife is white, so you're not allowed to comment on black women. Even though Robert Griffin III's mom was black and a colonel in the military, I believe. What Ryan Clark is really doing here is saying he's doing incredible mental gymnastics to try and justify the fact that he also does not like Caitlin Clark because she's white. That's what it's all about. Players like Kendrick Perkins, who have an MVP vote in the NBA, have openly said, Kendrick Perkins, who can remember this? Who remembers this? Kendrick Perkins openly said that people shouldn't be voting for Nikola Jokic for MVP, even though he was the clear MVP, because he was white. He said that ish with his whole chest. All right, I'm not saying every black NBA player is racist. I'm saying Kendrick Perkins is. I'm saying Ryan Clark is. And they try to sound so smart. They try to articulate, that there's some sort of big-brained intellectual when they're just racist. That's what Ryan Clark is. He's probably upset because Robert Griffin III's wife looks hot and he's married to a frumpy woman. All right? He's trying to say, a black man can't talk about other black men because he's married to a white woman. It's insane. He is a race-baiting loser. And all of these pundits, there's a lot of these like Michelle McNutt or whatever her stupid name is, Cheryl Swoops, another stupid idiot. They're all jealous of Caitlin Clark, and they try to pretend, they veil their jealousy and their racism in this like, well, it's just, it's just a basketball, but think about why can't she be an angry black woman? Why can't she do that? Why can't Angel Reese be like that? Nobody said she can't be like that. But people are going to call her thuggish. Ask what's his name? The stupid idiot in Golden State on the Golden State Warriors, who has like the most flagrant fouls in NBA history, and he's crying about people think I'm an angry black man. Player, if you didn't act like that, they wouldn't say that about you. What is this stupid name? I don't care. I mean, these are people who want to act like. I mean, look at this idiot. Look at what this clown says.
I love the fact that the WNBA has this exciting rivalry.
It's a race rivalry that is pushed by ESPN, by the way.
I hate the fact that they're always pinned against one another.
You mean
RG3
you do that?
Called what Angel Reese did hate. He said you could see the hate on her face for Caitlin Clark. I'm not really sure when we moved in being able to read the expressions of a person and know their intent. He does understand hate because I think he also understands the hate of self. When you look at the play, which is all we can speak to as professionals.
This is what they're all saying, all the race baiters. Oh, well, you just have to look at the play. You just have to look at No. Angel Reese hates Caitlin Clark, and she hates her because she's white and she's better than her. All right, can we just stop? Can we just stop? Can we?
I love the fact that the W took an intentionally hard foul.
Which happens every NBA game.
When RG3 jumps on to the hate train or to the angry train, and now follows along with what we saw from Keith Olbermann, what we saw from Dave Portnoy, as they poured on to Angel Reese to make her the villain.
She is the villain.
Caitlin Clark's heroic or hero story.
Right.
The one thing we know about RG3 is he's not having conversations at his home about what black women have to endure in this country, about what young black women.
Why? Just because he married a white girl? By the way, this is a uniquely black thing. It's stupid and racist too. You know, this is why ESPN ratings are in the tank. Nobody should be watching these losers. This foul was a totally fine foul. It's no free buckets foul. It happens every day in the NBA. And ain't nobody launching a 4-day multi-thing article about the race. People like Ryan Clark are pushing this. I guarantee you, if I cared to watch ESPN anymore, okay, they'd be talking about it all day today. And then, of course, what does the WNBA do? Oh, well, they say racism. There was racism. And then Caitlin Clark is forced to apologize and get on the, oh, well, yeah, racism's not good. What? She has nothing. She shouldn't have to apologize for anything. I mean, these people are so obsessed with race and, quite frankly, their distaste of white people, it's oozing out of their pores, and I'm sick of pretending like it isn't. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.